Oh shit. Here we go again.
Just getting ready. You already know. Well, howdy, burners. And I hope this video catch everybody in a good mood, a good place mentally. Recovering from the long day. Got the kids all ready for bed. Everybody fed. You got your keys and your ID for work sitting by the door so you can just head out in the morning, your uniform ready. Everything good. You got your little wine. You got your little high flying. Now it's just you time before you go to bed. And why not spend a minute with your hammy big ribs? You already know I got something for you. Something you can digest before you lay it down. Tuck it in. I've been having my eye on these documentaries by this channel of these guys. The name of the channel is called This Is Monsters. And they do excellent work, man. Their documentaries are awesome. Well, they tend to cover things that are way out. People doing way out stuff. But we don't get it on the news. And I think we need to know that these people are out there. And if you ain't paying attention, they might get you. Shit. In the words of E40 now, recognize this shit. Need to know about it. I want to know about it. Well, tonight, I'm going to talk about this dude named Michael Madison. I'll put it like this. Anybody in the world that has a reason to be mad as hell, this guy did. I'm gonna just stop talking about it. Let's just get into this. So this is the sad and twisted story of Michael Madison, aka Mad Mike. Oh, one more thing. When you watch a video with me, I'm gonna pause, rewind, have comments, crack jokes, be surprised and shocked, all of that. I'm the dude in the movie that you wish would leave. Could you be quiet, please? No. So, I got a real good option for you. If you don't like how I do this, get up out of here. I told you where you can find the video, the dude's name. You can go watch it by yourself. But if you want to have a good time and try to figure this out with me and maybe get a smile or a laugh during it, you already know. Let's go.
Michael Madison developed a hatred of women, and even though he had dated multiple women at a time and even lived with one, his hatred took him to a dark place where he wanted to make them suffer. Born in East Cleveland on October 15, 1977, his mother was Diane Madison and his father was John Baldwin.
See, I already got a start. He don't really look crazy, do he? In all actuality, he looked like my Uncle Michael. My Uncle Michael was a smuggler, but don't get it twisted. My Uncle Michael was the cleanest, freshest dressed, smartest smoker you ever met in the history of mankind. Example. This dude, while he's at his crackdom height, the height of his crackiness, goes back to school and becomes a paramedic EMT. Never stopped smoking dope. One day we hanging out in front of the spot and we hear sirens. Everybody know the difference between police sirens and fire truck sirens and ambulance sirens and all that. You know the difference if you grow up in the hood. But even though we knew what it was coming in hard and fast with the lights on and everything. Next thing I know, up to the spot. We like, my uncle jump out the ambulance, full EMT outfit, run over, buy some rocks, jump back into the ambulance, and skirt back out. This nigga crazy. Who does that? Where they do that at? Go buy dope in the ambulance. He probably was on his way to a call. Oh, rest in peace, Mike. You gave me a lot of ammunition, dog. And I got a lot more stories about you.
He denied being the father and was never part of his life. Diane had also been the child of a single mother who had eventually turned to drugs and prostitution, leaving Diane with a distorted view on parenting. She rarely let Michael play with other children, and they virtually never celebrated birthdays or holidays. He got used to a revolving door of his mother's transient boyfriends who often harshly disciplined him and his half-brother Grant. In 1980, when Michael was only 2 years old, his mother—
Whoa, hold up. In 1980, she could have got it. She actually looked like one of my mama's friends. And little do you know, she is insane in the membrane. I played football with Sin Dog from Cypress Hill. Anyway, if you tell me she can't get it, you a goddamn lie, homie. She would have got it. But that's why I subscribe to the doctrine from the three wise men, Bell, Biv, and DeVoe. You can't just trust a big butt and a smile. This girl is poison. Toxic. Ooh, Jesus.
Had stuffed food down his throat, causing him to vomit. When he vomited, she put him in a tub of scalding water.
Oh, man.
When he screamed, she took him out and beat him with an extension cord. This story, according to Grant, was eventually discovered by the Department of Child and Family Services. Later that year, DCFS was notified that Michael had a large bruise and an injury on his forehead.
Wow.
He was treated at a local hospital, but just 3 months later, one of Diane's boyfriends beat Michael so badly with a belt that he had to be hospitalized and suffered hearing loss in one ear.
Okay, I swear I'm gonna slow up on the pause. But this, she not only did the terrible stuff we heard, she allowed the dude she was dealing with to... This kid don't got a chance, man.
When reports from social workers revealed that Michael also had contusions, abrasions, and swelling on his penis, DCFS finally took the boy away.
You did?
But in usual child services fashion, they took him from one bad situation and put him right into another by placing him in the care of his grandmother, the former prostitute/heroin addict. It wasn't long before Diane had received counseling and DCFS returned Michael to her care. The problems didn't—
Wait, hold up. No wonder he looked pissed off. They gave him back to her? That's not a crime? Wow.
stop, though. Michael was later hospitalized with dehydration, and social workers reported seeing bruises and scratches on both Michael and Grant.
Of course. course.
This upbringing caused Michael to develop a hatred of women, and he lashed out at any type of female authority.
Yup.
As an adult, he told one girlfriend that he, quote, hated the female species, end quote. By 16, he had left his mother's house and was sleeping anywhere he could. At one point, he moved to Pennsylvania to live with his uncle, where the two would share sexual partners.
Damn. I would have slept on a bed of nails to get away from that bitch. That shit is crazy.
He was charged for delinquency for inappropriately touching a classmate and received probation. At 20, he was sent to jail for drug charges. In October of 2001, Michael dragged an 18-year-old woman down the street in East Cleveland and behind a house where he attempted to rape her.
Damn.
Fortunately, officers quickly arrived on the scene and scared the man off, but he was later arrested. He pleaded guilty to attempted rape and was sentenced to 4 years in prison.
Shit, I did 4 years for selling dope. I got sentenced to 6. Jesus Christ. He got sentenced the last time that I did. I ain't never touched a girl without giving permission. That sucks.
Records show that Michael underwent treatment for sex offenders before being released from prison. After being released from prison, Michael settled back in the East Cleveland area.
I wonder if he was on 99th and St. Clair with the Hammies. East 99 is where you see me talking about, yeah, yo, baby. What's up to the Bone Thugs, Ruthless Family represent? Okay, back.
He registered his mother's address on the sex offender registry instead of his own, then began making a living selling drugs. Michael was dating a woman named Brittany Darby, who he convinced to move in with him in September of 2012. Right as Brittany was moving in, Michael told her that he wanted to have an open relationship and started seeing another woman named Shanta Mahone. While Brittany was living in the guest room, having a relationship with Michael, who was also seeing Shanta, he was also having interactions with other women. These ones were less willing, though. September of 2012 was also the last time anyone had heard from a 28-year-old woman named Shatisha Sheely. Shatisha was the mother of a 12-year-old daughter and was close with her mother and her brother. Shatisha had called her mother to let her know she was stopping by to borrow some money, but she never showed up. Her family grew concerned when they hadn't heard from her, but Shatisha didn't have a stable history, so they brushed it off. When Shatisha's brother, Dontel, was shot and killed during a home invasion in December, her family became even more worried when she didn't show up to the funeral.
But I thought they said that they was close, that she was close to her family, and they didn't really start worrying until she didn't show up for her brother's funeral. Damn.
Shatisha's mother, Kameta Sheely, said she filed a missing persons report, but didn't get any help in locating the missing woman.
As usual.
38-year-old Angela Deskins went missing on June 7, 2013. She listed herself on social media as self-employed in customer service, and she attended Cuyahoga County Community College. Angela's family also reported her missing. On July 10th, 18-year-old Sherelda Terry was seen leaving a Cleveland elementary school where she had a summer job, but then she disappeared. Sherelda's father, Van Terry, plastered the streets with missing posters, but nobody had seen the young woman. Back at Michael's apartment, Brittany had lived there for about 10 months, not knowing that the bodies of 3 young women had been kept in the area. She recalled a foul odor in the apartment in early July and asked,
"Oh yeah, in early July. If it's dead bodies around, it's gonna stink.
Michael about it. He told her that 2 raccoons had died in the hall closet in the apartment, and when she went to open the door, he stopped her, saying, quote, "You don't want to see that. It's gruesome," end quote.
Damn.
I have so many questions. How did the raccoons get inside the apartment, and why were they in the closet, and why were their dead bodies still there? How does anybody hear that explanation and go, yeah, that seems reasonable?
Okay, baby.
It turns out that the body of Sherelda was inside the closet, and he moved it after the close call. On July 19, 2013, neighbors called 911 to report a foul odor coming from a nearby garage. When police arrived, they broke into the garage and found a naked female body wrapped up in the fetal position inside several layers of garbage bags.
Damn.
After discovering the garage was rented in Michael Madison's name, they obtained a search warrant for his apartment where they found additional evidence of decomposition. Authorities tracked Michael to his mother's house where, after a 2-hour standoff, he was taken into custody. The following day, the area around the garage was searched and 2 more bodies were found.
Jeez.
One body was in a nearby field and another was found in the basement of an abandoned house.
I hope this isn't rude, but he was taking them down, man. What the hell?
Other 2 bodies were also folded up and bound, then placed in several layers of garbage bags. 2 of the women had been strangled to death, and the medical examiner said the 3rd body was too decomposed to determine a cause of death.
On Friday, East Cleveland police received a phone call about a foul smell.
Ooh, he look like he's smelling something foul. Uh-oh, conspiracy theory nuts, conspiracy theory nuts. Look at that, he amazing. He amazing. He amazing. He probably set the whole thing up. It's probably a conspiracy. I don't know.
Near the intersection of Shaw and Hayden. Police and EMS responded and broke into a garage where we discovered the remains of a victim, number 1. Within 2 hours, a suspect had been identified, a search warrant obtained and executed on Chickasaw Avenue in the city of Cleveland. The suspect was apprehended without injury and without further loss of life. Upon bringing the suspect into custody, and further questioning by East Cleveland Police detectives, FBI, BCI, and Cleveland Police, it was determined that it was necessary to do an additional canvass on Saturday, the next day. During that additional canvass, 2 additional victims were discovered. We knew that we had multiple killings within a confined area, perhaps tied to the same person, on our hands. A further search was necessary on Sunday. We informed the community, involved the community. We had over 100 volunteers come out and go into vacant abandoned houses throughout the neighborhood.
During Michael's interrogation, he mentioned the name Anthony Sowell, which led authorities to believe he may be a copycat killer. Anthony Sowell, who was also referred to as the Cleveland Strangler, was a resident of East Cleveland who had raped and killed at least 11 women between 2007 and 2009. In 1989, Anthony was arrested for kidnapping and attempted rape of a woman who was 3 months pregnant. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. After being released in 2005, neighbors would file reports to the health department that they smelled a foul odor coming from his house. In September of 2009, Anthony was at the home of a woman named Latundra Billups. After a few drinks, he became angry and started hitting and choking the woman. When
Man, he out of jail and like yellow beezy. Right back at it again. Damn. Wow.
passed out, he raped her, but he left her alive, so she reported the attack to the police.
Oh, shit.
Police arrived at his house on October 29th with an arrest warrant, but he wasn't home and was eventually arrested 2 days later. When his home was searched, they found the remains of 11 women buried in shallow graves in his basement, in the attic crawl spaces, and buried in his backyard. Anthony pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but later changed his plea to not guilty. He was found guilty of 11 counts of murder and more than 70 counts of rape and sentenced to death. He died on February 8, 2021 of a terminal illness. Michael spent 12 hours talking to investigators, spending most of that time talking about his childhood and his mother. He eventually admitted to killing Sherelda and Satisha and said that he didn't remember where he had put the bodies. He described putting Sherelda's body in garbage bags and relocating her from the hall closet in his apartment after the smell had gotten too bad. He described the boom, boom, boom sound the garbage bag made as he dragged it down the stairs.
That brings us to today, where shortly we will file charges of aggravated murder against Michael Madison, the suspect we have in custody. 1 count of aggravated murder in the death of Angela Deskins, who has been identified, previously known as victim number 2, discovered by the East Cleveland Police, BCI, and FBI on Saturday. Angela Deskins was a resident of Cleveland. Angela Deskins was believed to be 38 years old. 2 more counts of aggravated murder will be filed against Mr. Madison and the death of victims number 1 and number 3, who have not yet been identified.
Michael had his charges upgraded to 2 counts each of aggravated murder for each victim, 3 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of gross abuse to a corpse, 1 count of rape, and 1 count of weapons possession by an ex-convict. His trial began on April 4th, 2016, and his defense tried to present some sort of insanity defense using his violent childhood as a catalyst, but it didn't work. It didn't take the jury long to find Michael guilty on all 14 counts. On May 20th, 2016, the jury recommended the death penalty. During the sentencing phase, while Sherelda's father, Van, was giving his impact statement, Michael was smiling, which set off the grieving father.
Wow.
That's very teary. Wow, that's really teary. Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown. He's touched our families, taken my child.
Oh shit! Hold up! Ooh, he trying to get that fool! Get him, Pops! Oh, that nigga laughing! Get his ass! What is this fool with the African hat on talking about? Shut up, fool. It's always... That fool right there. What that fool talking about? This man... I want to slap the hat off that fool head. It's always one of them old weird ass, psychic old fucking tea leaf reading ass motherfucker. This man heart toe out. And this fool yelling some old Bantu shit.
It's understandable. I don't understand how people could be in the same room as someone who's murdered their loved ones, especially children, without wanting to attack them. Michael shows his lack of remorse by smirking the entire time Van is trying to attack him. The court officers pull Van away and remove him from the court, but he isn't charged with any offense. The bottom line is that Michael destroyed so many lives by killing 3 young women, at least that we know of.
I don't know why this person did what they did to my daughter. But I just want everybody just to pray for me, because this is really, really hard on me right now.
This poor woman had her daughter disappear, her son was killed, and then she found out her missing daughter was murdered.
My son just was murdered 7 months ago, exactly on the 22nd. And it's really hard. It's taking a toll out of me. I don't know what else to say, but thank you all for whoever is praying for me. Oh.
On June 2nd, 2016, Michael Madison was sentenced to death.
Upon consideration of the relevant evidence, the testimony exhibits admitted in mitigation, it is the judgment of this court that the aggravated circumstances of course of conduct, felony murder, kidnapping, felony murder, rape, of which the defendant was convicted, outweigh the mitigating factors by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Accordingly, the sentence of death is imposed upon the defendant, Michael Madison, on counts 1, 4, and 7.
Is it just me, or is that judge cheating prominent as hell? Just so he's like Dudley Do-Right or something.
Michael appealed the sentence, but the Ohio Supreme Court unanimously voted to uphold the death sentence on July 21st.
But the twist is, he's not gonna see the needle or the chair. He'll die in jail, probably of natural causes or somebody stabbing him, just like the Swell fool. He got death, but he died of a terminal disease. I don't see too many people really actually getting death. Death row is full. I know they got Tookie, but shit, he was on death row for what, like 15, 20 years? I mean, good. I hope they don't kill some of these dudes. Because this dude, he did terrible things. Yes, I don't condone none of it. But don't he deserve to be in a mental institution?
2020. If this isn't a case that has absolutely no chance of winning an appeal, I don't know what is. On June 22, 2019, Michael's mother, Diane, was stabbed to death by an intruder. 18-year-old Jalen Plummer entered the home where Diane and 3 children were sleeping and
that is exactly what she get.
Stabbed all 4 of them. 2 of the children were able to run to a neighbor's house and call for help. The 3rd child was found hiding in the home, and all 3 were taken to the hospital where they survived their wounds. Diane was pronounced dead at the scene.
Yeah.
If you're the victim of domestic abuse, please reach out to someone for help. Please talk to your local battered women's shelter or call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline at
Please get help, because these weirdo dudes, if they hit you, they'll kill you. Please get help.
1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. Or you can go to thehotline.org to chat with someone online. The great thing about this website is that, at any time, hitting the escape key twice will take you to a Google search page. That way, if your abuser is nearby, you won't get caught looking for help. If you're having feelings of harming yourself or someone else, or even just need someone to talk to, please contact your local mental health facility, call 911, or call Mental Health America, who operate the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255.
I told you, the twisted and sad story of Michael Mad Dog Madison. If you watch this video to the end, leave me a comment. Do you think prison is the answer for this dude? I mean, don't get me wrong, he did that shit. He did it. But doesn't mental illness play a part in all this? And the post-traumatic syndrome, all the terrible things that happen to it? It's easy for people to say get over it when it's not you. I learned that. And I feel bad for all the times it crossed my mind to tell somebody, man, suck it up. It don't work like that all the time. Man, I feel awful for the victim. But in the corner of my heart, man, I feel bad for Mike, man. I feel bad for his mom. That shit's generational. Well, I'ma wrap it up. I know y'all need to get in bed. I done probably had y'all for like 30 old men. We old, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you guys, when you get some free time, check out This Is Monsters, the channel on YouTube. They got awesome ones, awesome documentaries, real long ones that I probably won't watch with you guys because they're so long, unless you guys want me to. Alright, so make sure over here on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment. Help me out, man. Let's get this started. And it's one thing that will never change.